The Cool Run pod is a way of transporting fresh and frozen produce without the need for diesel refrigeration units on vehicles. It keeps our products cold through the use of phase change materials, which are frozen down and put in the pod alongside the cold product or the frozen product, and can keep the products frozen or chilled for between 30 and 15 hours depending on the temperatures that you're running at. I came together with Hugh, our founder, in 2019 to develop a solution for reducing pollution within urban areas, particularly in relation to transport refrigeration, and that's where the pod was born. So this was born out of an Innovate SBRI grant, for which we're very grateful, and we've had further grants, and was done in conjunction with the University of Lincoln. As well as our phase change material, which keeps the product cool, we also have state-of-the-art IoT, so we can track pods at an individual level. We know where anywhere they are in the country or the world, the temperature they're operating, whether the doors are being opened, what the humidity is. So in real terms, we can absolutely see what is happening to a company's product at any one time. So that's a really important big step forward for this type of technology, and we have decided to put that as standard into all of our units. We've also got a patent pending protection, which is around the way the air flows within the pods to make sure that the pods maintain their cool uniformly from top to bottom. And that's part of our design.
The primary market for these is for what we classify as a multi-drop, multi-temperature vehicle. And that, in classification terms within different sectors, is effectively the food service sector. The guys who are doing deliveries to convenience stores, it's not the long distance trunking vehicles, the semi-trailers, the big articulated lorries. So it's urban delivery vehicles, and they come in classifications between 7.5 ton gross weight up to 26 ton gross weight vehicles. That's 4-wheelers and 6-wheeler vehicles. And typically they're running on diesel. So that's the big challenge, is how can we get rid of that diesel consumption? And this is the solution. Our original thinking was to develop a product not unlike a shipping container. Look what the shipping container did to world trade. Phenomenal difference, made the whole thing economic. Got rid of an awful lot of labour, quite a challenging area at the time, but it reduced the labour and therefore the friction at a port. So instead of manual handling an individual tray and going off of a big truck to a cargo bike or a small vehicle, we can transfer this pod directly from a train, a boat, an articulated lorry, put it onto a smaller urban appropriate vehicle, of which is an evolution in that space, and it enables those vehicles to run around with this size of container doing distribution without any consumption of energy, particularly from a battery, which is struggling to run the vehicle, let alone run the refrigeration. Just to give you some idea on the amount of energy, in very approximate terms, between 15 and 20% of the energy that vehicle as a whole will consume, if it's a refrigerated vehicle, up to 20% is going to the cooling content.
The UK government estimates that from decarbonising freight in the UK, we can save 220 million tons of CO2 by 2050. Food transport alone can address 95% of that. Currently, every year, roughly 7 million tons of CO2 is generated from food delivery alone. And most of it is from road transport. So this addresses exactly that. This essentially saving operators 10% on their total ownership costs, which equates to about 5,200 pounds per annum per truck, or over the life of the pods, 52,000 pounds over the 10-year life of the pods. We also save 75% of the emissions from the refrigeration on the truck itself, if you're using the power to freeze down the PCMs using grid energy, or 100% eliminated if you're using renewable sources. And this is all verified independently through a Department for Transport funded trial going forward. So it's a very exciting time, and we hope to be making a huge impact for sustainable transport. In essence, not only are we saving the planet, but we're also saving our customers a lot of money.